Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. On this particular edition of the Kyber Cave, we've got a treat for you guys. We've got Ryan Street from I Am Geek. He's going to join us tonight. We're going to talk to him. We're kind of going to, get an inside look at what he does, talk to him, kind of understand and see how things are going with him, what he's got going on, maybe get some information on some new stuff. We don't know yet. We'll have to see, but we're going to look at some of the stuff he's put out so you guys can see that, and then, just ask some questions and just chat a little bit and go from there. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to go ahead and bring the man on. So here we are. Ryan Street, how are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's unfortunate. We've tried to do this a few times here, and just schedules and technical problems, it's taken us forever. So I'm excited to finally be able to put all this together and sit down and chat with you and actually hear what you have to say. So for those of you guys that don't know, the last time we tried to record this, unfortunately, I was having some technical problems, and I had a great one-on-one chat with Ryan for probably the better part of an hour. And when I went back to do the post-editing and everything, realized I had no audio at all from Ryan. So that was all on me. That was part of it. And then, of course, with the holidays and stuff, we had some other things going on. So just wasn't able to get to it until now. But what we are going to do tonight is we are going to talk about the different Kybers and designs that Ryan has come up with. Because Ryan has come up with some of the most unique and awesome looking Kyber designs, versus anybody else out there at this point. What I've really liked about what you've done, Ryan, is you've put out stuff that nobody else has done. They're unique. They all have a different design. I mean, especially your Elements set. I mean, that set, when I first saw it pop up on there as available, when you teased it, I think it was back in, May or June when you were teasing it, of it coming out, and I saw what you had coming. I was just like, oh, man, I've got to get my hands on those to see them because they just look so good. For you guys, anybody that don't know, Ryan started out selling a few of the Kyber designs that he first released in a joint venture, I guess you could say, with Crafted Core. And I know most of you guys are going to know who Crafted Core is, Chandler and Ryan Thompson that do that. But they were sold through Crafted Core, but they were his designs. The first one they put out was, of course, the Great Tree. And I know you're not going to be able to see these really good through this camera here, but we'll take a look at each one of them a little bit under the Kyber camera here in a few minutes, so you guys can see a little bit better of those particular designs that he's done. The other one being the Chosen was a little different. Again, a different design, something very unique. Looks like lava rock. I mean, it looks really good. I like the way the design was done. And I know you've got some things to talk about with that as well as we get there. Then you actually have the elemental set, I guess is what it was called.
Forces of Nature.
Forces of Nature. Yes, I'm sorry. And this set. What really set me off with this set when you first announced it was literally this little boy right here. The Gnarl tree, basically the dark side version of the Jedi Great Tree that you released first. But each one of these that are in here have their own unique design that just sets it off from the rest. I mean, just they're eye candy. I mean, literally, that's what they are. We'll look at those here in a few minutes as well. And then I think after that you had your 50th celebration that you did, and I've got these in my display here, and I'm gonna pull them up here. We'll look at these as well. They're a little hard to see in the camera, but you had two different designs that you did. Unfortunately, one design was only available for cast members. I was lucky enough that my wife was an ex-cast member, so she begged and pleaded, and I was able to kind of convince a little bit there. So your generosity, I do appreciate that. She was very happy to see that. And then your latest one that you put out was your Life Day.
Yeah, something a little fun for Life Day.
And that one there, it's again unique. It's a different design. The way this one came, and I'm actually going to be utilizing the items that it came in the Life Day ball to actually make a Life Day ball out of it. I'm working on actually making one, because when it was released and I went to the lightsaber meetup at Disney World here in Orlando, and they actually gave out some official Disney Life Day balls that had LEDs in them and stuff like that. They were handing out, and of course, there was no getting them out of anybody's hands. When they were giving them, I mean, it was like super glued into the palm of their hand. It was not coming out. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get one of those. So I'm going to go ahead and make one of my own out of what you sent. But just keep in mind, for everybody that's watching, every single one of these Kybers can be viewed from not only my site, Kyber Curator, where you may be watching this from. If you're on YouTube watching this, the link will be down below for you guys to be able to see. But I have every location, every one of the Kybers that Ryan has released are in an album on my page, as well as, if you go and search, there is a new Facebook group that was made not too long ago for all the crafters to be able to be part of, and that is the Kyber Council, the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Kyber Council, and we have those on there as well in the photo album section, and that has for all the crafters that have been generous enough to join the group and be able to put that information up there for you guys. So we have any one of the Kybers that are still available will be available for you guys to purchase on his Etsy store. All those links are on those photos, and I will try to make sure when I do the video and put it on YouTube, put it on the Facebook, that I'll have some links in there for you guys that you can click directly to those to go and get them. Because I'm telling you, if you are a collector like myself, you're going to want to get your hands on some of this stuff. I mean, they're awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and let Ryan start talking here, because I'm continuously chatting, just rambling on. How's things been going with you, man? What's been going on?
It's been going good. We got through Christmas, so that was good. And now New Year's around the corner, and then tomorrow's my 20th wedding anniversary.
Well, congratulations.
So, thank you. So we're going to take a trip to Aulani in Hawaii. So we're all.
My wife wants to go there so bad.
Yeah. And then on the way back, we're stopping for a day in Disneyland, which will be my first time at Galaxy's Edge West. So I'm debating on taking some of my stuff there to show off. We'll see. I may make some. They won't have the 50th in it, but if I have time, I may make some cast member crystals for the West Coast that I can take and just hand out to some of the cast members. But everything's going good. Where I've taken a little break from, for Christmas, making the crystals, and then I'll start back in January because all my orders, I've filled all my orders, all of them are out, so I have a clean slate right now, and then we'll pick it back up here, in a little bit. But I've got a lot of new stuff in the works, which we can hint at later, I guess.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, I don't know if people really know much about your background and how you got started, where you get your ideas from. Tell us about yourself and about IamGEEKshop.
Well, I'm 43 years old, so I've been a Star Wars fan, forever, basically. And I love Star Wars. And the first time when Galaxy's Edge was announced, I was really excited. And the first time I went to Galaxy's Edge, I just fell in love with it. It was just an amazing experience. I felt like I was in Star Wars. This was like right when they first opened, so it was pre-pandemic, so they still had characters walking around, and you really felt like you were immersed. Everybody was telling their story and everything, and I had the chance to make a lightsaber at Savi's workshop, and that just was like a lifelong dream, making my own lightsaber. And it was just an amazing experience. So when I got home from that, I had made a dark saber type sleeve for the Savi's lightsaber, and I went back and I had that with me, and everybody came up and asked me what it was, where did I get it? I said I made it and stuff. So I made some of those for a little while, but they were a little harder to make. So I said, you know what? I've got all the crystals. I want to make new crystals. I want to figure out how this works. So I did some research, sort of reverse engineered it, figured out how it worked, and then just sort of tried it. And I said, I don't want it to be the same thing, because I've seen other people just sort of make the molds and stuff. I wanted to do something different. So I started sculpting and designing some new crystals that were going to look different. And at the beginning, it was just for me. I was just doing it for me. I'm also a podcaster. I have a podcast called I Am Geek. And I was like, this is just for me. And then I started putting pictures on Facebook and places, and people are like, where can I get that? And I'm like, well, you can't right now. And they're like, but we want them. And I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do. So then I was like, okay, I figured it out. That's when I talked to Chandler from Crafted Core, and he said, because he saw my picture and he contacted me for the Great Tree about putting it on their site. I'm like, well, people have been asking for it. That's probably the easiest thing for me to do right now. With time and everything, I'll make them. You can put them on your site, and we'll see how it goes. So he said, let's start with 100. We'll put 100 up there and see how you do. So we put 100 limited edition Great Tree crystals, and they sold out in less than a day.
Wow.
And I was just like, this is crazy. So let's do another one. Let's do another one.
And looking at it, I can tell why, because it is unique.
It's unique, and they take a while to make, very many steps to make them. But when that was going on, I developed the Chosen One crystal, and he asked to put that one up there, and we put that one up there, and that one's sold out, I believe. There's no more of those left. So then I decided, I'm going to make an Etsy shop, and I'm going to put some stuff up. Because I kept designing stuff, new ones, and I put pictures up, and people were like, where can I get those? And so I decided to do, since my podcast is I Am Geek, I'm like, I'll just call it IamGEEKshop, because that's easy. And went from there and put them up, and put the Forces of Nature box up, and which we can talk about, and put the 50th anniversary, which there's only a few of those left, like very few of those left. And then the Life Day right now. I think that's all that's up there right now.
Yeah, I'm actually, right as we were talking, I'm pulling up your Etsy page so that I can see what you actually have listed on there. And it does look like currently you have the Life Day celebration that we talked about. You have the individuals for the Forces of Nature. You do have the box set still listed. The 50th anniversary or 50th celebration crystal, and it looks like that's all the Kybers that you have on there currently.
I know it says low in stock on the celebration crystal, so they are about gone, and once they are gone, they will be gone.
Right. And I know that the Great Tree and the Chosen were through Crafted Core. And I'm just double checking to make sure, so that way we can let people know. And those are not on the page anymore, so those evidently have been all purchased. So for anybody that's looking for those particular Kybers, the only real option you're going to have for being able to get those is going to be a third-party market. Either somebody that has one available to purchase, or to grab one off of, unfortunately, like Evil Bay and stuff like that.
Now, I don't know if you want me to tell you this now, but I am working on version 2s of those. They're going to be different, but the same, basically. They're going to look a little different.
Okay.
But I've already got the Chosen One sort of the way I like it. And it's going to look, it's going to still be basically the same story, because each crystal comes with a card that tells a story. But it's going to be sort of like a shiny black lava rock. If you've ever seen like lava rock when it like it's shiny
Right.
and hard. And the red and the blue will most likely glow in the dark. I've been working on that. I think it's working. So
Yeah, I want to
be
grab some of the cards here that I've got for you. My cards, I do my stuff a little differently, just because of the fact that I'm, being as obsessed with this as my wife tells me I am. I actually have all mine in a binder
look
on
at there.
pages, so that way I can keep track. But yeah, I mean, for those
baseball
of you
cards.
that don't know, I mean, like the chosen one, Crystal, and dang it, if I can get the card out of the sleeve here. I mean, these cards are just phenomenal looking the way that they are. I'll try to show some of those under the Kyber cam here in a few minutes as well, when we kind of delve into talking about them a little bit more individually as well. So please continue with what you were saying. I apologize for jumping in there.
No. Yeah, so I've been working on a Great Tree version 2 and a Chosen One version 2 for those that missed out. Hopefully they'll be on my Etsy site. They'll be different than the original one, so you'll be able to tell them apart.
Okay.
But it'll be the same look, if that makes sense.
Okay, are you going to have a similar card with those, or is this card going to be completely different so they're differentiated better?
We'll see. I may do it up a little different.
Okay.
We'll see. What does the people want? Let me know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anybody that wants to make a comment down in the comment section and let us know. I mean, with the cards, if you've got some of the original ones, would you like the card to look different? Give us some ideas. Give Ryan some ideas and things to think about. How can he differentiate it so that there is a distinction between V1 and V2?
Yeah. I am going to Hawaii. Maybe I can get to a lava field and take some pictures and
there you go.
Make a new card. We'll see.
Yeah, because I think if I remember right, you told me before that the chosen one was actually a picture from your fire pit or something like that, was it?
Let me look. I've got it here somewhere. No, that one wasn't. What I based that crystal off of was a lava rock from my fire pit, and then I carved it and made it fit in the lightsaber, and that was the original one, was actual lava rock. And then I made a mold, of course, because I'm not going to carve 200 lava rocks.
That would have been rough. That would definitely have been rough to do.
Yeah.
But talking about your cards, I mean, if I remember right when we were talking before, the pictures that you've taken have all been, or the pictures on the cards are all pictures you have taken of different things yourself to be able to put on the cards, correct?
I think I think the chosen one, and I think that in the Gnarl tree are the only pictures that I haven't taken, and all the rest are pictures that I've taken to put on. So like the 50th anniversary one, that's a picture I took at Disney World, and then the Exiled crystal, it's a picture I did. The ice cave one is a picture. Yeah, the rest of them are all pictures I took, and then I photoshopped them and magicked them up to make them look good.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look at some of the ones that you've got here. Let me kick over here to the Kyber cam, and I'm going to actually start out, and hopefully everything is working, and I don't have my big fat fingers in the way, so I'm going to use some nice little tweezers here to be able to do that. So, and here we are with the Great Tree, and what's unique about this one here versus any others, other than of course now the Gnarl tree, which is it's brother or sister version, however you want to look at it. It's evil twin. There you go.
The Sith version, yes.
Yeah, there you go. It's these are all hand carved, correct? All the lines, the grooves that are in this, they're all literally.
I sculpted it. Yeah, I sculpted
the
original
that
one.
way on the original, and then my fingers in there, and you made a mold of it to be able to do that, and then hand painted each one, correct? All the green. Yeah, and the card for that one, for those of you that haven't seen it, me get my book back out here. For the Great Tree. Where be it, the Great Tree? Yeah, so the Great Tree being your first one, not to sound negative or anything, but it was a basic, look. It just kind of had like a wood color, a greenish wood color to it. Let me see if I can put it up here.
Yeah, that was the first one.
My camera, my ring light is giving us a little bit too much reflection on there, but you can kind of see in here where the logo's at, that it's got some wood grain look to it and everything. I was lucky enough to manage to get my hands on number 1 of 100.
Wow,
so, and I don't remember who I got this from, but I did get it online from somebody else, I believe. I don't remember exactly where I got it.
Well, I hope you didn't pay too much for it.
Honestly, I've had it for so long now, I don't remember. But you've got a great story behind it, to let you know about the Kyber itself, and all these stories on the photo albums that we have on the sites. All those stories are listed on there, so that anybody that goes on there, when you look at it and you read the description of it, that's the stories that's on the card. So keep that in mind whenever you're looking. That's literally what you're going to find on there. Your second one, and the one that we were talking about, the Chosen, for everybody to be able to see, it definitely has that lava rock look to it. Just the painted, and you hand painted these as well, correct?
Yeah, that took a while, because
man, looking at all the little dabs on there, yeah, I could say that it definitely took some painstaking hours in there to be able to dab all those little grooves and pores and everything on there to get that to look that way. But it's unique. When I first got it, I was like, I don't really know if I like this or not. But the more and more I looked at it, the more and more I got close and could see the character of it and the textures and everything, the more and more it grew on me. And to the point where now I think it's one of the more unique ones that you have, because
thank you.
Most everybody that's put out Kybers, I mean, let's be honest, all the Kyber crafters out there, for the most part, they use the same molds just about. Most everybody uses the medium cut or the middle cut or the cut 2, whatever, cut 3, whatever they called, because you ask anybody and then, there's only 3 cuts. No, there's 4 cuts, who knows? But the middle cut is what most Kybers are made from. Most of the ones that you see behind me on my Kyber display are that particular shape, which honestly makes it easy for displaying, because I can line them all up the same way and on there, and they all fit on there perfect. But with your Great Tree and your Gnarl Tree, they are larger than your regular ones, and this one's actually smaller because of the design of it. Which I noticed. This is the card here for the Chosen one. So let's get this in here so you guys can see that. It's got one side that kind of has that red hot Mustafar look to it there on one side, and then kind of cooled down a little bit more of the lava rock on the other side. Didn't get a load number on this one, but you know what? It was I ordered this one directly from Crafted Course site when it came available. So I was at the mercy of whatever I got sent. But I mean, it looks just awesome with the way that you did the design, and just looking at it and seeing the care and detail you put into these things, it's unbelievable. And you guys are watching, you're going to see even more of what I'm talking about here in just a minute. So let's move on to the Evil Twin. The Evil Twin being the Gnarl Tree. And as you guys will notice, with the Gnarl Tree, it's literally a dark version of the Great Tree. There they are, kind of side by side. I know they're not centered in the camera, unfortunately. Move the camera just a little bit here, you can see a little bit better. They are a mirror image of each other, which is great. But it's definitely got that more of a sinister Sith evil look to the design, with all the red grooves, the red painting and everything. I mean, what made you decide to make this particular one?
Well, people was asking about a dark side version of it, and once there's a story behind the Forces of Nature box that I've never put out there, and I think the last time we recorded, I told you about it, but then that disappeared into the.
So I'm the only one that's had it come into my ears.
So the Gnarl tree is actually from, and I can tell the whole story once we get all through the 4. But the Gnarl tree is an actual tree in the Star Wars universe, the Cave of Evil. It's the place where Luke Skywalker walks into in Empire Strikes Back, where he confronts his greatest fear of him becoming Darth Vader. When Darth Vader appears and he tries to fight him, cuts his head off, and he sees it's him. So that's the Gnarl tree. And the Great Tree is the tree that stood at one of the Jedi temples. So it's sort of the light and dark. And I thought that would be cool. And I played around with it, and it came out like that. I'm like, this looks cool. I like the red and the black together on this. Yeah. So there's the story right there of the Cave of Evil, the Gnarl tree.
And that I mean, the design you did there with that, adding not just the tree grain, but actually having the lava look to it on there, the red flames coming out.
Very
definitely
evil.
Set that card. It sets it apart from the other one, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move to the next one in the set, which when I saw this one, I was like, how in the world did he manage to put a tree inside a freaking Kyber? And this one's going to be a little difficult to see, so I'm going to kind of do this for you for a second so you can have my hand as a backdrop there. But if you guys notice, I mean, it literally looks like a tree and mud. I mean, this is supposed to be a scene from Dagobah, correct?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe let's see if it'll.
Yeah, we can see it on yours there as well.
Yeah, so this is sort of it's called the Exiled crystal, and it's basically the swamps of Dagobah, right there in crystal form, with sort of the swamp plants and swampy, murky water in it. It looks really cool when you shine a light behind it, that you can see all the plants growing up through the swamp, and so it's lights up green with Yoda's voice. So that's and then the Gnarl tree lights up red, and the Great tree lights up green. So this one is green with Yoda's voice in it.
The next one that you did, I'm gonna move to the cave.
Okay.
First, because I want to save that last one there, because I want to talk about that one a little bit more in depth. But what's really interesting about the ice cave is the fact that this joker's hollow through the middle.
Yep.
When I first saw this, I was like, okay. There's a hole in the middle of this Kyber. There's grooves carved in the side. Where's the daggum chip for this thing? And then all of a sudden, it hit me. The chip, the RFID chip in this one, is literally the lightsaber sticking out of the ice.
Yeah.
And I was like, blown away with the fact of, I've seen some crafters out there, and I've talked about crafters in one of my first video I ever did, when I did the comparison videos. And I talked about a crafter that I know of that every single Kyber that I got from that crafter, you can see the RFID chips on the ends of the Kybers, and they're eyesores. They stick out like a sore thumb, and I hate to put it this way, but I think they look terrible. You managed to be able to put one right there in front of my face and make it look good. And that's saying a lot when you start looking at the fact of how hard it is for you guys to hide these things inside there. I mean, how did you figure this out to do that? I mean, what led you to make it like this?
Well, first I was like, the first came the hole in the middle. I was like, I want to put a hole in the middle of one, and you can see straight through it. Let's just play around with that. So I did that first, and I was like, okay, I think I can fit the chip down in there. I think I left enough room. And then I was like, but you know what? Let's do something cool. And I was like, what if I put scratches on the sky like a Wampa has scratched it, and I make it the scene from the Wampa cave in Empire Strikes Back, and actually make the chip a lightsaber. And I tested it to see if it would work. It worked. I think it looks pretty cool. It looks like that scene. You just need a little Luke hanging beside it, and you're good to go. But and it fits when we get to the whole set. Talking about the whole set, it fits perfectly within this set, and that's why it's with these other two so far.
Oh, and it does. It fits beautifully in there. I'm gonna move from that one to probably the most I don't know if you want to say unique, but the one that blew my mind. I was scratching my head and was like, how in the world did this man manage, and I'm going to put it here so you can see, manage to put Luke's severed hand in the middle of a Kyber?
Yep, there it is.
Not only Luke's severed hand, but his severed hand holding the lightsaber, holding Anakin's lightsaber that he got from Obi-Wan when technically Anakin himself cut his hand off. His own father, Darth Vader, cuts his hand off in Cloud City and poof, gone. Screaming to death, I am your father. No! As he's sitting there holding his hand. But how did you make these hands? How did you manage this?
I got little tiny people, and I cut their hands off. No. I'm just kidding. No. This was hard. It started, I got the idea because I had a Luke Skywalker figure, and he's not laying around right now. An old action figure, Luke Skywalker, and his hand actually comes off because it's that scene. And they made it where his hand comes off. So I had this little hand. I'm like, it would be so funny. And this was a joke. This started out as a joke. I was like, wouldn't it be funny to put Luke's hand inside of a crystal? And I was like, let's see, how can I do this? And I'm like, I made it look like clouds, like it's actually falling from Cloud City.
Mm-hmm.
And so I figured out how to make the crystal look like it was the sky with clouds. And I knew from the Ice Cave one that I can make the chip into the lightsaber. So that was easy. Already figured that out.
Right.
And then I was like, how am I going to make the hand? So I tried making a mold of the hand, in resin, and that didn't quite work. It kept falling apart because it's so small, and it couldn't get a real good thing. And then I designed basically, and I didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of action figures and cut their hands off because that would
get pretty costly quick.
That would get pretty costly. So I figured out how to 3D print them. So I 3D printed little hands to put inside there, and there it is in all its glory. People either laugh at this crystal, like this is so funny, or they think it's like very morbid. When I tell them, oh, this crystal has a severed hand in it, and they're like, what?
Yeah. It does make it a unique part for the set. Now, talking about the set, each one of these do come with their own individual cards. And those cards are the ones that you took pictures of, and I'm going to show these cards here in just a second. I'm just trying to put these back in the case here. But each one of the cards that you did are pictures that you took, and integrated into it. So, like, here's the Exiled crystal, and you can see, literally, it looks like you took a picture of your front lawn.
Close. Not really. It's like moss and wood chips and stuff. And then I edited the picture to make it sort of look like that.
Well, it definitely gives you the Dagobah vibe.
Yeah.
From that one there. Then you have the ice cave. And this one, go ahead and get this one on here for you guys to see. Daggone ring light that I use for my Kybers reflects off of these pretty because they're nice and glossy. But
that's inside of a freezer.
Well, that's it's literally an ice cave then.
Yeah, inside of a freezer. Yeah.
Inside of a freezer. Wow. That's definitely a good place to get a picture for an ice cave.
We had an old freezer in our garage that my wife had bought, and she didn't know that it didn't have like automatic defrost, so it would just build up with ice all over. And I'm like, that would make good pictures. So then I started taking pictures inside the freezer of ice stuff, and
that's great. And then of course the last one is the escape from clouds.
It's my sky in my backyard.
Yeah, just a nice picture of the sky. So it definitely looks good. And as you can see, guys, I did get number 3 of the set. Now I noticed that these are all numbered 3 of 200, where they're where they're 200 sets, or was it 200 Kybers and you put together the set?
Yeah, there's 200 of the individual Kybers, and then there's, I think I did 50 of the sets.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what there's still some sets left. So basically, if you buy them all together, you get the box, and all the card and stuff.
And that box, it's, just to kind of show you guys, I mean, it's a nice wooden box here. It's got the logo on the front there that looks kind of like the great tree, and then the gnarl tree underneath it. Yeah, hand painted those. The inside it looks like you got a lot of good hand painting in there. I actually have my insert upside down because I display it like this, so I can see them on my shelf. But as you guys can see, let me move it up here. Actually, let's do it this way. As you guys can see, it's a nice insert that they fit in. It sits down inside the box so that you can display them all, and they all sit inside the box real nice. And it's a nice touch to having the box for the set itself. So, moving to your next one, and that was actually, I think your 50th celebration one came out next.
Yes.
If I can get the display to come apart here, it's pretty tight. Come on, there we go. Read it, Sean. Push to open. All right, so the original 50th that you put out has more of a bluish tint to it, but what's nice is you have the 50 logo in there celebrating the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. And then you've got the confetti style glitter there. I do see it looks like some hidden Mickeys inside there, so you've thrown those in there. And then you've got a lot of the blue, purple, green colors, as far as the glittery confetti that's inside there. Tell us about this one here.
So basically, this is in honor of the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. I wanted to do something special just to sort of celebrate, because Walt Disney World, Disney in general, has been a big part of my life for many years, and it's one of the places, that in Star Wars, that when life gets hard, I can escape and just have fun and forget about problems. And this came about in an unfortunate part of my life where a few months ago, where my dad passed away, and I had this idea then to make something to celebrate the joys in life, even with tragedy surrounding you know, Disney's been like that. Star Wars has been like that, just an escape. So this is just to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World and all it means to me, and I love it. And I wish I still lived in Florida so I could visit it more. But this is in honor of that, and I made 50 of them with a special display case. So once those are gone, they're gone forever.
Yeah, and the display case that they came in for everybody, you know, to be able to see here, it's a clear window style display. It has a little foot that it sits down inside of, so it displays real nice on there. And if you've watched any of my other videos, on this side, you would have seen it about right here, just kind of hanging out there over my head. But after you made this one, and again, my sincere condolences there about your father. I remember with that, we were originally trying to set this up back when that happened in your family, and I know that took precedence and everything. It took a little while to kind of get things going again for us. So again, I am truly sorry to hear about that, and you know, the losses like that. I'm fortunate enough right now that I still have both of my parents, but I know at some point that is going to happen, and we all pretty much deal with that, you know, at some point in our life. So I can't say that I know how you feel, but I know at one point in my life later on I will know that. And again, I am sorry to hear that. After you made the 50th, you told me again, like you had mentioned a little bit ago, about making some cast member ones to give out to cast members.
Yeah.
And I did get this one here, I guess it was a month or so ago, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah,
month and a half. Can't remember, but it took a little while to get it because you were busy. But here is the difference between the two. And here, let me move these over, get them a little bit better centered on the camera. But there is a slight difference between those. Now, if you are a cast member and happen to get a hold of one of these, because I think if I remember right, and this was the first time you and I met face to face, and
yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and I wish you were still in Florida as well, so we could meet up more often. Yeah. But I know you only had 10 or 11 of these at the time, like to be 10, able to hand out.
Like 10 of them, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know that there were some cast members from the stories you told me that were really, they were excited, and a couple of them got emotional, I think you said, with when they got them.
Yeah, they did. It was great because I just like. I would just walk up to them and like, or sometimes people would do nice stuff, and I would just say, "Here, I want you to have this," and they're like, "What do you mean, have this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, and it works in a Savi safe." And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "Well, here, let me take you on Smuggler's Run." So they let me on, and then when I got off, they're like, "So we showed this to our manager," and I was like, "Oh no, what's going to happen? Am I in trouble?" And they're like, "Our manager really wants one." I'm like, "Where's your manager? Let's talk." So then I gave one to the manager, and then somebody helped me out at one of the at Ronto Wraps. And they were telling me about their collection, and I was like, "Here, just take one of these." And he's like, "What? This is amazing." He goes, "Your food's free." And I'm like, "Oh, well, you don't have to, but that's nice of you." And then there was a lady at the front of the park, probably college age, and she was showing me 50th anniversary stuff when I was checking out. I'm like, "Well, here's my 50th anniversary." And she's like, "That's so amazing. I'm going to build my first Savi saver next week." And I'm like, "This is, here, take this and put it in when you get it." And she was just overjoyed. I met one of my favorite Disney cast members. His name is Mark Daniel. He does a lot of the videos and stuff for them. He's on basically all their mic work when they do like big events and stuff. And I saw him walking through the park, and I'm like, "Mark, I got to give you one of these." And he took it, and he actually works in Savi sometime as what's the head gatherer's name? I just forgot. As the head gatherer that does all the spill.
They all have the same name, and I can't remember myself at this point either.
So he took it there, and I gave one to somebody there, and they're like, "Yeah, we just." And the next time they remembered me, and they're like, "We display it backstage. It's like displayed back there for everybody to see." And I'm like, "Oh, that's amazing." So it's just something that cast members do so much, especially after the pandemic, to help bring the magic back. And I wanted to bring a little bit of magic to some of them. I wish I could have had more with me just to give them out left and right, but I did all I could to get the 10 made, and I think everybody that got one was very happy with them, and I hope they still bring them a little smile when they see them.
Yeah, I remember the Smuggler's Run and sitting there looking at my watch, going, "Golly, man, it doesn't take that long for this ride to go." And coming out and telling me they let your kids ride it like what 2 or 3 times or something like
they
that.
just kept letting us, and my kids were dressed up. This was part of it too.
Right.
They were dressed up as cast members. They had the vests on from Smuggler's Run with all the patches and the badges, and they were just like, they would go in there and they'd be like, "Why are you late for work? Where have you been?" It's so funny. And they're like,
great.
"Well, we don't work here."
That's awesome. Well, to kind of show this one here in a comparison, the glitter is a little different inside this one. If I can get a hold of it. This one, instead of having the round glitter, this one has more of the long, almost string style glitter. But you do have a couple hidden Mickeys here and there. That show up in there, and then got the big 50th logo on there. So I really like those, and especially with the fact that my wife, you were generous enough to send one to my wife, who's an ex-cast member. She really enjoyed whenever that came in, and I showed it to her. It's like, "Look, honey, you got your Kyber," and she's like, "Oh, finally!" Yeah, she's like, "That's awesome," because I know she had just a great time talking with you and your wife. And I think, was it your parents or her parents that were there with us that day?
It's from my mom.
Okay. I thought it was your mom and dad that were there.
No, that was after my dad had passed away. So
I'm sorry. That's correct.
No, that's fine. I think it was my mom. It was either my mom. No, yeah, I think it was my mom.
Okay, because I know that there was a gentleman that was there with us.
Maybe it was that week was weird because half of the week my mom was there, and the other half of the week her parents were there. So it may have been
it may have been your wife's parents. So these are really cool. I really enjoyed seeing these and seeing my wife's face whenever hers came in. She really enjoyed that. So
and the hidden Mickeys in there, the colors of the hidden Mickeys are the colors of the Kyber crystals that you can get in Galaxy's Edge.
Oh,
so
nice.
Each hidden Mickey is one of the different colors. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if anybody picks up the 50th celebration that you can get off of Etsy, that one there will have those in there as well. So, and the last one that I've got from you that you put out recently was the Life Day, and this one here has the Life Day orb mixed into it. So tell us a little bit about this one here, as far as your color combination design and the information behind it.
Yeah, so Life Day, if you don't know what Life Day is, it's sort of like Christmas for Star Wars. It's a Wookiee celebration, and it came to be known in the infamous Star Wars Christmas special that came out, I think, in 1979, and I've seen it a few times. And so this one, either people like it or they're like, "What's Life Day?" And then I have to explain what Life Day is. But the orb glows in the dark. It glows blue, and you can choose, just like the 50th anniversary one. I forgot to mention that. You can choose between 3 different colors in the 50th. Blue,
That's
purple,
right.
or yellow. And this one you can choose either blue or white when you buy it. You can either have it glow white or glow blue. Because some of the Life Day orbs, like in the Christmas special, they glow white, and then some of the orbs in the Christmas for Life Day and like the comic books glow blue. I don't know why they switched it up, but some places white, some places blue. But and every year at Galaxy's Edge, they celebrate Life Day. So I wanted to make a crystal. The red is for the robes that the Wookiees would wear. They would wear red long robes, and then they would hold the Life Day orb as they celebrated. So it's red, and then the orb is white in the light and blue in the dark. And I'm not sure what color you got.
I believe mine lights up white.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Most people think it's going to light up red because like, it's a red crystal, but I'm like, no, see, that's where I get you.
Well, let's just find out. I've got my Savis right here. see if my memory serves correctly. We will see. Yep, I got the white.
There we go. And it came in a sort of a Life Day orb with, if you got blue, then it had sort of blue confetti-like stuff in it, and if you got white, it had sort of white, clear.
Yep, I got it right here. So this is the orb that it comes in. And you can see the confetti hanging out because I haven't stuffed it all back in yet. But if anybody does order this and they decide, because this is a half shell, so it says 2 pieces, I actually ordered, and this is if somebody wants to do this, I ordered what they call fairy LED lights.
Oh, yeah.
And they're little bitty, teensy small little LEDs that light up, and they light up pretty dang bright. So when I first put it in there, I was like, oh man, this is going to be like entirely too bright just by itself. So I took it upon myself to get spray snow.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm going to spray the inside of mine, make it all nice and white in there, and see if I can't get it all nice and lit up. And
now, I will tell you that the ones, if you order now, the orb that it comes in is slightly smaller than that orb, because where I got those orbs, they don't sell them anymore. And I can't find that exact size, but the size is just a little bit smaller than that one. But it's still, everything fits inside. It still looks the same. It's just a tiny bit smaller, because I guess that was a Christmas one. And they sold out and they don't have any more, but they had other ones that were just slightly smaller. But it's still a clear orb with the same stuff inside of it.
Yeah, and I think I know which one you're talking about, because my oldest son is getting married a week from this Saturday, and some of the table centerpieces that my wife is doing, and that's where the idea came from, the lights, was we got blue lights to put inside of them, and that's where the spray snow came from. So they're actually making the blue version of the Life Day ball that we're gonna have as centerpieces. So once that all gets done and everything, I'm probably gonna steal one of those to bring back here and have on the shelf somewhere behind me, put it beside the white one there that I'll have. So well, that's all the crystals that I've got right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put us back on to a larger screen here. There we go. And just what do you got coming up? You got any teasers for us? Any some new ideas that are coming out that you might want to be able to hint towards, or something?
I'm working on a few that aren't quite ready yet, but the one that's going to be ready first, I don't want to give it away, but I will say that this crystal will change everything.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say anything either. You were generous enough to allow me to see what you've got coming, and we've talked a little bit about the whole thing, and it's definitely going to be something that's going to change the game. It's going to be different. It's another unique idea, innovative idea from Ryan Street and IamGEEK. So
yeah, I don't do anything normal. So this one I'm excited about, that it could really change up stuff, and hopefully people will like it and understand it, and hopefully it'll sell well. We'll see, but it's going to change stuff up, definitely.
Well, when you get ready to put that out, give me a heads up so that way I can go ahead and get one from you, because I would absolutely love, and I'm sure the people on here that are watching this video would love to be able to have a live stream event where you could, the day you're ready to throw it on Etsy for people to buy, we can sit down like we are now. We can chat about it. We can talk about it. I can show them. You can show them what it actually is, how it works, and then let it go live whenever we're talking about it. and let people grab those things, man. Because I'm telling you guys, when you see what he's got, you're gonna be like, oh wow, that is something. I mean, it's definitely gonna be something that's gonna change the game. Going forward with Kybers,
it's
from
probably
I
going
Am
to be in
Geek.
January. I want to get it out as soon as I can, so I'm thinking January, probably when I get back from my trip, because I don't want to like put them out there before the trip, and then people are like order them and I can't make them until I get back. So
Right.
I'd like to try to get people the crystals as fast as I can. I make them all at nighttime after the kids go to bed, so it takes me a little while, but I try to get them out as fast as I can. But so I'm thinking January is just around the corner. I mean, a few days away.
I mean, we're the end of this week, so I mean, I guess we're looking at middle to the end of January. Getting ready, I guess, hopefully to put that out there for everybody. That'd be great.
Yeah, hopefully nobody else puts it out there before me, but it's unique. It's unique. So
well, I can tell you, when you brought this to me, I had no clue. I don't know if anybody else has figured it out, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
We'll see.
So, at least the people that I talk to on a regular basis, you're the first one.
Oh, cool.
So
well, I probably will
that.
have it with me. The prototype, I probably will have it with me at Disneyland. So
okay.
I might just have one with
any of you guys that go to Disneyland when he's there, keep an eye out on his Facebook or Instagram, Twitter feeds, or any of that stuff. Keep an eye out, because if he's there and you manage to get there, you might get a sneak peek at what he's got coming up. Maybe not.
If I get everything ready, I might put a sneak peek, just a sneak peek out there, not like a full reveal, just a little sneak peek, something to whet the appetite.
There you go.
So we'll see.
Something for us to all speculate about and come up with our conspiracy theories of what it is. That'll be awesome. So, cool. Anything else you've got coming up, or is that pretty much what you're solely working on right now?
I'm working on that one. I'm working on.
Oh, you've got the version 2s that you were talking about.
The version 2s. I'm working on something that is probably going to be called the Fires of the Force. It's going to be different than anything that I've done or any.
That sounds interesting.
Probably. And I like to do the nature theme. I like it. It's fun. So that one will be coming along once I get that one perfected. I don't like to put stuff out until I get it, as perfect as I can get it. And along with the crystals, if I make a crystal for somebody and I look at it and I'm like, I'm just not happy with that one, I don't send it. That just ends up on the table somewhere, and I'm making another one.
Well, I know you told me about when you were going to send me the cast member 50th for my wife. You made like 3 or 4 of them, I think, or something like that. You said
I didn't like it.
Just couldn't get it just where you're at, and I fully understand. I mean, that if I was making Kybers, that's how I would be as well. I wouldn't want to put something out there for somebody that I wouldn't be willing to spend my money to purchase.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are some crafters out there. I guess I can only say really one crafter out there that I know of that will send stuff out that I would be absolutely embarrassed to send out to anybody. And we won't talk about that anymore. Well, Ryan, I greatly appreciate you joining me tonight to talk about just everything about I Am Geek Show. The Kybers that you're putting out there, the ideas that you have, giving us an opportunity to kind of get an insight on how you got started and just, everything about what you're doing. Thanks for the insight and the heads up and the teasers, of what you've got coming up. And we look forward to seeing more from you coming up in the future real soon.
Thank you so much.
So, all right, for everybody that's joined us tonight, I thank you. On behalf of Ryan and myself, thanks for stopping by. Definitely check out IamGEEKshop. I'm going to put down, I think I have, well, it's over there, down below Ryan, over here. Yeah. There's his Facebook link on there. His Etsy, I'll put that on there. All the contacts, all the links and everything will be down in the comments section on the Facebook feed for you down there in the description. Again, links on for all the album stuff on my Facebook page, the Kyber Curator, also on the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Kyber Council page. So definitely check those out. Give us all a like. Appreciate you stopping by on our page. Give us a follow, a subscription down there if you don't mind, a little bell icon so you know when we put new videos out here for just like, talking to Ryan here. Also, we'll let you know when we go live the next time that we talk to Ryan. So I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks again, Ryan, for joining us. And as always, guys, may the Force be with you.